Winter in the UK can be pretty long, pretty wet and pretty dreary, but it always gets me dreaming of warmer climates and the epic rides that I've done, the amazing places that I've been and those that are on the hit list to do. Epic rides are why some of us love mountain biking, but of course the definition of the term epic really varies from person to person. Some people love nothing more than a steady pace and a great view, whilst others are all about the quality of the descents coming back down. So we've listed some of the most epic rides that we know, something for everyone from cross country to downhill technical stuff. Let's start with one of my favourites, the Andes Pacifico. Now this is one of the most epic rides for the enduro type of rider out there. It gives you access to ride epic trails, some amazing ridge lines with views over Santiago that you just don't get a chance to ride any other time of the year. And the great news is that myself and Blake are going there in just a month's time. I can't wait to get there, show Blake what it's all about and get into those amazing trails again. The trails are really varied, from the scree slopes high up in the Andes to the raw alpine dust trails, and actually it turns more to dirt and woodland the closer you get to the Pacific. There's 5 days of riding and friendly competition that await the entrance, and it attracts quite the pro crowd, including us. The race village is fully disassembled and reassembled as you work westwards towards the Pacific, and actually run by the people that do the Paris-Dakar race. The catering is amazing, free South American wine, the best free craft beer you'll ever taste. It's 136 kilometers, 75 kilometers of timed racing with almost 12,000 meters of total descent. Get your entry in as soon as you can, consider altitude training and don't take the racing too seriously. Deep in the Moab desert is a trail that you may have heard Doddy talking about once or twice. It's the whole enchilada Moab. This black diamond rated trail is absolutely packed with technical rock features, some of which are pretty high consequence. It's a touch under 55 kilometers of single track, pretty much going all downhill, just 390 meters of climbing compared to 2,370 of descending. Doddy's advice is to take your time and try and enjoy it. It's a long, hard day, so don't try and blast it in one go. You'll miss some of the coolest desert scenery you're ever likely to see. Take a chilled out perspective both in pace and mindset, and the exposed nature of this trail is super gnarly, so don't take any risks. You'll be faced with a series of highly technical features, although everything is rideable, and this is top of my list of places that I've got to go as a mountain biker. I need to get out to Moab. Tips: make sure you take a camera, take some spare tubes and tyre boots, and a spoke key because of those really punishing rocks. Don't rush it and make sure you make a day of this ride. Now over to the southern hemisphere. This is Rude Rock, Queenstown, New Zealand. So the heights of Coronet Peak just outside of Queenstown are home to one of the flowiest trails in the world. You'll probably recognise it from your favourite Kiwi riders' Instagrams, or from Follow Me, where it's hosted G Atherton and the late Stevie Smith in arguably one of the greatest riding movie segments of all time. Either way, some rugged moorland scenery and interesting shaped rocks make this trail recognisable worldwide. Fairly small in comparison to our other epic rides on this list. It's only 3 kilometers long and a 400 meter descent, but this is the definition of flow trail. It's rated as an advanced blue trail, so Rude Rock is fairly accessible to be rolled down by intermediate riders, but it's best enjoyed by the advanced riders with a good lick of pace, making a lot of the features and flow make more sense. The great thing is it's accessible via the Coronet Peak Road for climbing your trail bike or for shuttling your downhill bike. Tips: take it easy and warm up into the trail because you're likely to get loads of runs and build speed throughout the day. Now over to Canada and probably the mecca of mountain biking. This is Whistler and the top of the world trail. Of course we had to include Whistler, and probably the most epic trail there is the highest one, is going from the top of the world. Of course there are notable other epic rides in the area, including Pura Vida, Howler, Dark Crystal, Microclimate and Comfortably Numb, but the one we had to choose is the gondola accessed top of the world. So this is the jewel in Whistler's crown. It has 5,000 vertical feet of descent to offer, and it's been raced in a number of EWS races. It's famous for its length, brutality and changing trail conditions as you progress towards the valley floor. The trail starts super rocky and exposed, but with amazing views at the Canadian panorama, and you can stay on that hard packed trail and drop down into the bike park, or you can take inspiration from the previous EWS races and get off in some of the most amazing natural riding you'll ever do. Khyber Pass, Middle of Nowhere or Kush. The natural way is definitely the steeper and more difficult option, going out the bike park's bounds and getting away from the safety of patrollers. So don't ride it alone. You'll end up at Creekside at Dusty's Bar and Barbecue, so get yourself a cold one, you'll have earned it. Split off the natural trails and stop at Dusty's. Don't ride alone and make sure you take plenty of spares. Now the next trail on this epic list is just down the road from Worcester, a couple of hours. This is Vancouver and this is the North Shore. The trail is ladies only. So this place has such a legacy. It's the birthplace of the North Shore style that any trip promises to be epic. For a real taste of what North Shore mountain biking is all about, you simply got to ride ladies only. This is a double black trail and it really showcases a good variety of styles in a way that only the Shore can. Now don't get us wrong, we're not saying that ladies only on Mount Froome is the hardest trail available in the area. Of course there's those super techie, super hard trails that you've probably seen on videos, but it's a taster of the North Shore riding. It's difficult enough to make you stop and think or go a little slower than you might like, but easy enough for advanced riders to enjoy fairly frustration free. So I've raced World Cup downhill at Grouse Mountain just outside of Vancouver, but I've never actually ridden the North Shore stuff. So this is definitely on my list of places I've got to go and ride to call myself a proper mountain biker. This has been recommended to me by Tom here at GMBM behind the cameras, and his tips are inspect it before you ride and don't fall in the pond. Back over to Europe, and this is Saalbach Hinterglemm and the Big 5 Challenge. So this big day out includes 5 gondolas, 5 mountain top traverses and 5 thrilling downhill runs on a mixture of flowy alpine trails, varying in length through a few of Austria's best known bike parks. We spend a lot of time traversing at altitude to check the weather and make sure it's a clear day as you don't want to miss the views over the surrounding mountains. The best of the descents is the Hakelberg Trail, a ribbon of dirt flowing for 5.5 kilometers down 600 meters of vertical to arrive in the valley floor. But to get there, you've got to get up the West Gipfel Peak, a super steep pitch, which not many riders make it up without a stint of walking. Take a break at the top before you drop in, as it's about 20 minutes of descent. Tips are to take some downhill casing tyres, take the Hakelberg Trail and use a down tube protector on your bike. Now to the Ard Rock Enduro in Reeth in Yorkshire in the UK. I did this event last year and absolutely loved it. And this epic ride is part of an event, but one which allows you access to trails that are otherwise closed to the public. Once a year for 3 days, the Swaledale Valley in Yorkshire plays host to enduro enthusiasts from all over the world, and it's no surprise that tickets often sell out in less than a minute. The trails, the racing, the spectators and a festival atmosphere all lend themselves to the epicness of this ride. This is a ride best enjoyed with friends. It's a 45-kilometre loop with 7 time stages over supernatural terrain and not a man-made berm in sight. It's a super fast start to the day, which does give way to a few longer transition stages through some amazing Yorkshire scenery. Follow that by some rock stream shoots and some technical single track that demand higher level of fitness. Although there is a timed race going on, the festival atmosphere really helps to subdue the nerves, and it's just about the friendliest competition out there. My tips would be to train as hard as you can. It's actually quite a long day, longer than that 45k suggests, with some pretty long time stages. I'd recommend a full face helmet, and don't ride alone, and make sure you enjoy the party. Now over to Italy, and in the shadow of Mont Blanc, this is the Aosta Valley. Pila has been famous for featuring tracks that are way ahead of the curve when downhill was on the rise, and still plays host to some big events such as the IXS European Cup. Renowned for its deep, dusty berms, Pila is still a bike park location that should be on any downhill fan's hit list. However, we're talking about truly epic rides here, not just great bike parks. Pila still delivers. For a few months in summer, this is totally accessible by chairlifts. You can get up to 2,700 meters and drop all the way back down to the valley bottom. There's tiny alpine goat trails that give way to super fast ski pistes before getting into those loamy dirt trails with some of the best freewheeling, absolutely no pedaling descents you'll ever do. Riding the whole trail from top to bottom in one is a huge challenge, with consistently steep gradients and high speeds requiring plenty of braking and brake pads. Total descent of the 15 kilometers of the Desarpa Trail is 2,100 meters. Tips: try and train for arm pump, try to ride it in one, and take spare brake pads. Now to definitely the most epic ride on this list that takes a serious amount of commitment. This is the Tour Divide route from Canada to Mexico. Now there is a race on this route known as the Tour Divide. You can start either end from Mexico or from Canada, but the route is called the Great Divide. The route, of course, is completely unmarked and it follows the route of the Rocky Mountains. Riders have to cope with high altitude, changing weather, of course. It's going to take you weeks to do this. Treacherous trails and remote backcountry inhabited by both mountain lions and bears. The route is about 2,700 miles or about 4,400 kilometers. That is the most epic thing ever. And actually it's on my list of things I would potentially like to do. Who knows, maybe I will commit to doing it one day. Have you done it? Would you ever consider doing it? Let me know. Tips would be really think about this before you try and do this. I know I've thought about this for a couple of years and I've still not decided if I can do it or not. Now over to Iceland, and one of my favourite trips from last year. This is an amazing place to go to visit alone, but to go and ride your mountain bike there is absolutely amazing. Even better if you can go heli biking. So I got the chance to go there last year with GCN's Cy Richardson to do an amazing gravel ride. So this may not be your thing, and there is more technical single track there, which we didn't get a chance to see, but I really hope to get back there and ride some of that stuff as well. However, I will say that gravel riding was much better than I thought, and actually much more technical than I thought as well. But even if the riding isn't up to your standard of your normal super technical stuff, I would still recommend getting out there to see the sights, and what a better way to see them than to pedal your bike through them. We went with a company called Ice Bike that do a bit of everything from fat biking in winter to those heli biking trips and those technical single track in the summer. Summer, of course, only lasts about 6 weeks in Iceland. My tips would be to plan it as well as you can. Try and book it in advance and take plenty of kit to stay warm, but also for those wet conditions, and don't go unsupported. It's a super dangerous place to ride. So there you go, there's some of our epic rides, some that I've been on, some that I'm planning, and some that I would love to do. Hopefully you've been inspired by some of those. Let me know if you've done any of those in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your stories, or if you've got any others you're trying to do this year. Maybe you've got some New Year's resolutions and you want to get out and do some epic rides. If you want to see that video of me and Cy in Iceland, click over there for that one. If you want to see me race the Ard Rock up in Yorkshire, over there for that one. Thumbs up for some amazing rides and hit that sub button.